Kyle Lohmeyer here with another worst commentary. So I've been sort of following this 2016 presidential election thing for like 3 or 4 years, however long it's been going on. And I don't know if you're up to date, but the big talk now is that none of the Republican candidates are going to get to their convention in July with enough candidate or delegate votes to secure the nomination on the first ballot. So that means there's going to be multiple ballots, and the delegates who were sent to the convention to vote for the people that the people back home voted for are going to be unbound and be able to vote for who they want. And out of all this chaos and weirdness will emerge exactly half of the pre-approved, pre-selected candidates we, the people, get to choose between for president. In a lot of democracies, people get to choose among candidates. We only get to choose between two that other people pick for us. And we take this as a given, that this is just American democracy and this is how it works. And there's been just countless man hours of work devoted to covering every aspect of this campaign, bringing us every speech and debate and endorsement announcement. You can't forget those because it matters an awful lot that the Ohio State University head football coach endorses the current governor of Ohio for president. Shocker. And this is what they tell us about the presidential race. What I wish other people would mention is that this process is completely messed up and it's an insult to all of us. And oddly enough, given the process, nothing ever really gets better no matter who wins these things every 4 years. No matter which of the two pre-selected candidates from the two parties of negligible real difference wins, nothing gets better ever. The taxes go up, everything costs more, and the government intrudes into our lives in new and exciting ways, no matter who wins. Yet every 4 years, us dumb shit Americans allow ourselves to get all stirred into a frenzy over the presidential election. And why is that? Why does it take exactly 4 years for Americans to forget that they don't give a shit about something to the point where they can be convinced they give a shit about something? World Cup soccer, the Olympics, presidential elections, they all hit that sweet spot of American chronic amnesia. Nobody's clearing space on their DVR for Portugal versus Ghana at 4 in the morning if the World Cup gets played every year. Not in America anyway. And so way back in the early 90s, I remember MTV had their ridiculous Rock the Vote campaign. Rock stars and rappers telling us to go out and vote. Today we need a new campaign. Fuck the vote. Because there's nothing we as Americans, even if all 300 some million of us right now got up and said, know what, screw this, start over, we need something else. No. Nothing we can do is going to change the fact that there's going to be exactly two assholes' names on the ballot come November, and those are the only two assholes that we're going to get to choose from, and that's it. So I say, since we can't change that fact, the only thing we can do is send a message to the inevitable next commander-in-chief, who's going to be one of the two assholes whose names are on that ballot in November, no matter what. We can just send him a message that, fine, you won, but you absolutely do not have a mandate to rule us. And how do we send that message? Well, let's just let the next asshole get elected by like 1 million total votes. And then the guy who lost gets like a couple 100,000. And that's it. I mean, there's always going to be true believers, so people are going to vote. But can you imagine a president that gets elected by less than 1% of eligible voters? What kind of mandate are they going to be able to claim when there's kids on YouTube who have more followers than they got votes for president, and all those kids do is sit around and talk about other people playing video games all day? That next president's gonna launch a war with that kind of a resume? I don't think so. And sure, yeah, most of this idea is unicorn shitting rainbows, pipe dream nonsense, but I am not so foolish as to underestimate the American capacity for laziness. So I really do think the whole fuck the vote part of the idea could work. And there really would be no mistaking the message that would send to the next president by such low voter turnout. And really, I mean, okay, obviously, if there's down ballot issues and races you care about or ballot initiatives or millage proposals, vote for those. But you can always leave the top of the ticket blank. Oh, but if you don't vote, you can't complain, people say all the time. Really? When did we lose track of the fact that it is my vote? And that means I get to pick who I give it to, based on whether or not I think they deserve it. And given the possible choices that are left to be one of the two assholes I'll get to pick from in November, none of them deserve it. So it's mine. I'm keeping it. Send me someone who deserves it, and I'll give it to you. In the meantime, fuck the vote.